So you want to travel abroad. You want to travel to Colombia. Friends and family are telling you you're crazy. This interview is the video for you. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located, and thanks for watching. Again, another good video for you, another good interview. You like the last few that I did, so this young cat is going to teach you something. Let me tell you, especially he's going to teach some of you older cats some stuff too, as far as traveling internationally and traveling to Colombia more specifically. So let's just jump right in. Wes, where are you?
What's up, man? Where am I? I'm in Medellin. Dude, that intro got me hyped, bro. I feel like I'm getting nervous now, man.
Hey, I appreciate you being here, man. My audience can definitely get benefit out of listening to what you have to say. We spoke earlier, and I learned quite a bit about you. So I just want to rehash some of that and let my viewers get to know you a little bit better. If you're not familiar with it, his YouTube channel is Where's Wes? Yes. And he moved one day from Los Angeles, California to Bogota initially, and then came to Medellin. So, but without me telling his whole story, welcome again to the show, Wes. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So my story, I'm from LA. I was born and raised there. I lived there my whole entire life. I'm 26 years old. I'm Chinese of Chinese descent, but my parents were born in the Philippines. So my family has a very big history of migrating. And I think because of that Filipino culture, I've always kind of had like a love for Latin culture. And plus I was raised in LA. So I have a lot of Mexican friends. My best friends are Mexican. So I've always been surrounded by that culture. Mm-hmm. And then I always knew that I was going to live in Latin America. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. But essentially what sparked the move was my dad was verbally abusive to me for most of my life. And I'm a musician. I produce music. That's how I sustain myself for a living now. And I received like zero support from my family. They were actually kind of working against me while doing that. So it was a very hard struggle. And what caused me to move here was I had a really big fight with my dad. And that essentially after that fight, I was like, you know what? I'm going to move out in a month. And I was debating my options, but God sent me a sign, gave me a one-way ticket to Bogota, Colombia for $180. And then when I received that notification, I'm like, all right, this is it. You know, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and just go. So I bought the ticket. And then for the next 3 weeks, I just started selling all my things. So I think I bought the ticket January 7th. And then I left on the 28th. So
1 year ago.
Yeah, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and if you haven't seen his channel before, I watched one of your videos today, and I saw that video where you had the argument. How are you recording, or even I need to record this?
Well, so the first argument was a lot worse. So we argued. First one, I left, and then I'm like, okay, I think something's telling me to record this because I wanted to show like my family, like my parents and my aunts and uncles, to kind of like get them on my side because none of them believed me. So that's why I went back in, and then sure enough, I got this argument recorded. So yeah.
Okay. And then, so some people need a push. This was his push to, and an opportunity. Again, what was it? $185 ticket to Bogota?
Yeah.
From LA?
Yep. Yeah. Bro, that's what I'm saying, right? Like it was insane. Okay. So there's actually there's layers to that. So if you watch my channel, I talk about it, but I actually originally left looking to be a cruise pianist, right? So they actually accepted me before I left. So the plan was I go to Colombia for a couple of months, and then until I get called for the cruise, and I come back, get my stuff, and then go on the cruise, save my money, pay off my debt, and then go live wherever I want. But then when I was in Colombia, the second week here, the agency I was working for, they told me, oh, actually, we don't think you're good enough, so we can't offer you the position anymore.
For what position? What position was that?
Yeah, a pianist for cruise ships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we were already talking contract. We were talking about, okay, we're planning on launching you like March or April. How do you feel about that? So it was all good, but it ended up being a blessing because the pandemic hit, and then the cruise industry was destroyed. So once again, you know, like all the events that led up to here it's insane, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So you went there, you sold your car, I saw your keyboard, your guitar before you moved there. How much money did you have when you went there?
I had about $4,500. And
just $4,500 just landing in Colombia. Now you need to figure your way around.
Yep. Yeah. I just did it, man.
And so you guys that are 35, 45, 55, 65 who are saying that you can't do it, here's a 26-year-old just up and going. And lately we've had a lot of issues. Is it safe? So let me sidetrack real quick and let me know your first impressions when you got there. And did you feel unsafe at all? Did you feel uneasy? Did you feel like you fit in?
Yeah. So that's okay. So that's a tricky question because I don't think Colombia is necessarily a dangerous place, but big cities, no matter where you go, are going to be unsafe. So when I landed, I didn't feel unsafe, but it's not like I'm walking around with my camera, my expensive camera gear, or like iPhones and stuff like that. However, I will say I did get attacked one time when I was living in Estadio, but I don't think they were trying to rob me. It was because of the pandemic hit and I was Asian and they kind of blamed me for it. So it was like a hate crime, you know?
Yeah.
But as far as like walking around everyday life, I don't feel unsafe. I feel more safe when I'm in like Manizales, where I'm going to move, because it's a smaller city. So there I feel like way safer than I do here in Medellin. But as far as like, is Medellin unsafe? I feel like it's pretty safe. As long as you're smart. If you walk around with bling and you look like a foreigner, people are going to target you, you know? And that's how it is.
Yeah. So what Wes did though was learn Spanish before he went. Okay. So when he showed up, you didn't learn any before you moved there?
No, I didn't know the language before I came.
Oh man. So when you got there, you were blindsided.
Yeah, bro. Everything, like new language, new country, new everything. I had to start from the ground up and build myself. Yeah.
Wow. So you taught yourself or you took lessons?
I took lessons for a total about 3.5 months, but for the most part, living with locals, dating girls, and just living in this country, because I'm a very disciplined person. Like when I put my mind to something, I just do it. So it was my goal to be fluent in Spanish in a year. And then I talk about that on my channel. I document the experience from when I first got here, knowing nothing up until now, like a fluent B2 level.
Yeah. And you're staying in Poblado, right?
Yeah, right now I'm in Bogota.
Yeah. How do you like the area? If you had to move, well, obviously you're moving to Manizales, but if you were staying in Medellin and you had to move somewhere else in Medellin, where would you move?
Yeah, so I actually really like my area. It's beautiful. The problem is if you don't have a car or a motorcycle, it's a pain in the butt to get around. So I live in Poblado on the side closer to Envigado. And I live in Los Balsos, so it's like a bunch of hills, right? So the area is beautiful. There's parks, there's like a mall that I walk to where my gym is, and it's beautiful, but it's so far. There's not like the little neighborhood stores or the little tienditas in the corner, or where you can buy groceries and stuff. Like when I was in Estadio, I really missed that about Estadio and Laureles. And when I'm moving to Manizales, they have that there, so I'm really excited about that. Here in Poblado, I think it's beautiful. I have a beautiful apartment. I have an apartment video on my channel. And I like this area a lot. It's very safe. You can walk around with, I have expensive shoes that I walk around with. I don't feel unsafe walking in my neighborhood. It's just, like I said, trying to get everywhere, you have to take a taxi, take a bus, or walk a lot. So, yeah.
You're on the side of the mountain. I'm trying to figure where you are.
You know where Santa Fe Mall is? Yeah, you go up that huge hill all the way at the top.
To the right of the mall?
Yes.
Okay. So you start at the Rotunda and then you go all the way up, whatever street that is. Okay. Yeah, man, that area is beautiful. The only thing is, again, I'm on the other side of Las Vegas where there's no hills. I don't know how you can do that, man. Yeah, you have to take an Uber everywhere. Just my gym was on that side of the street. For me to get there, I was tired before I got to the gym.
Yeah.
So I said, never again. So, yeah. Okay. So,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so you said dating, you mentioned dating. So give us an idea, because let me tell you something. I got a lot of guys that are going down for the first time. There's somebody probably going today, tomorrow, the next week, and so on. And they possibly want to date a Colombian. Any advice that you could give them?
Yeah, so it's not a secret that Colombian women are very sought after, and I think rightfully so. And the thing that makes Colombian women so charming, in my opinion, is they have very strong family values, and they enjoy playing traditional roles. You know, that sounds a little bad. It's a little taboo nowadays, but it's kind of, they expect the man to be a man. They expect the man to be a breadwinner, but in exchange, they are very feminine women. They're very good mothers, and they're very caregiving to their family. I think a lot of the YouTube videos hypersexualizing the women has kind of given a false impression of what Colombian women are like. And because the best way to meet people, especially here in Medellin, I would say it's actually very hard to meet someone to date because it's a big city. But the best way to meet people is through mutual friends. Okay. And the best way to get mutual friends or to have friends is you have to speak Spanish. So that's kind of the key to everything. So you see a lot that I've seen it online where you have a guy who barely speaks any Spanish and he's with this beautiful girl who doesn't speak any English. And then they're supposed to be like in a relationship. And there's a very high percentage, like I would say 9 times out of 10, she's probably paid for, you know? And if you're coming here looking for that, it's legal. You know, I don't judge, I'm not saying that. But if you really want a true partner, you can't look in those places. You can't look in the super touristy places because most of those women are working, you know? And I've said that Colombian sixes are like American eights, and then Colombian eights are like American tens. So the Colombian tens and nines, super sexy, all that stuff. If they look like they're working, they probably are. So what I say is like, go for the Colombian sevens and eights because they're still beautiful and they have good values and they have everything that you're looking for. And there's a less chance that you're going to get like drugged or taken advantage of or robbed, because that's a really big problem with foreigners here as well.
Yeah. So you're aware of scopolamine and devil's breath.
Yes, I've heard of that. But I haven't had any experiences like that because I don't surround myself in those kind of environments.
Yeah. Do you hang up parquilleras?
Nope, not at all. To be honest, most of my friends here are locals. I kind of refuse to be friends with foreigners because you and we talked about this. I don't know if you want to go into it. But like being an American, I never understood why the world hated Americans until I lived here and then I saw Americans and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. We're kind of dicks. So, you know, what was I going with that?
Yeah, it's the ugly American is what we're called in Europe, I believe, just because we come over and we're entitled and we think it's our, you know, we have the money. So you need to snap and move fast for us. And like I said, I did a video maybe a month ago on how to act when you're overseas. You know, sometimes you need to humble yourself too, because the cops are going to roll up on you sometimes. Yeah. And you're not in America. You can't call your lawyer. You know, you need to deal with this. Best way to deal with it is just stay away from it.
Yes, so, exactly. Yeah, and I think if you have difficulty attracting women in your home country and you expect to come here and have all these women all over you, I think that's unrealistic as well. You know, just like anywhere in the world, women here still appreciate confident men with good values. It's very religious. So, you know, being Christian is actually kind of, or Catholic is a plus. It works for you here as well. But if you lead with money, you're going to only attract gold diggers, because that seems to be the running stereotype of Colombian paisa women, is that they're all gold diggers. But I'm like, if you come here, you lead with money and you attract gold diggers. Like if you stick honey out and you get a bunch of flies and you say there's only flies here, like that's not fair, because I would say Colombians in whole, they're just very great people, and the women are beautiful, they're kind, they're charming, and they take really good care of you. But you gotta respect their culture and know where to look.
Yeah, and stay out of parquilleras. I mean, you got to go. You got to enjoy that at least once or twice. But I'm telling you, you're more liable to run into some things, especially robberies, fights, getting drugged, passing out. And people, be careful when you're drinking too, man.
Killed too, you know. So it's not worth it in my opinion, you know.
Yeah. So you said that you moved there with what, $4,500 and 55, 45.
Oh, 45, yeah,
$4,500. How did you find a place? When you told me you went to Bogota and you were there for 3 days, and then you caught what, a $40-50 flight? I think I saw that in your video. To Medellin, and you've been there the whole time. So how did you do this financially? How did you find a place, first of all?
So the first week I stayed with a Colombian family. Like I said, in the beginning, it was my mission to learn Spanish. So I was like, I'm jumping into the deep end, you know. I think if you hung out in touristy areas or if you live by yourself, it's very hard to find a motivation to learn the language. And in the beginning, just doing 1 hour lessons, 2 hour lessons, it's not enough. You kind of have to be exposed. So I stayed with the family for a week, but it ended up being quite expensive. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be here for a while. I went on homestay.com and I found a room. It was in a room in this like house with 6 or 7 bedrooms. And the rent was like $160, $170 a month. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna book it for the month, see what happens. And it actually being really good because I was there for the quarantine, and because I was living with natives, it allowed me to practice my Spanish and everything. So after a few months there, I wanted to find another apartment. So I just walked around my neighborhood and I just started making phone calls and on the signs. And then I started talking to people on the street. Met this guy on the street who ended up being 3 doors down from where I was living. He had an extra room, so I ended up staying with him. And that ended up actually being a whole mess on his own. That's why I don't go back to that neighborhood, because I had to call the police on that roommate, and that was just like, it was a whole issue. But then after that, how I got this apartment in Poblado, I was same thing. I went online, I was looking at properties. I just made a bunch of phone calls, and then I got hooked up with this real estate agency who showed me that if you're a foreigner, you want an unfurnished apartment, there's two ways to do it. You either have 3 months deposit and you pay monthly, or you pay 6 months in advance with 1 or 2 month deposit, depending on your rent. Mm-hmm. And then I paid 6 months in advance for this one, which ended up working out because at the time the exchange rate was like 3,800, almost 4,000. So it was a lot more than now. So it ended up working out.
Yeah. Good deal. That's actually 3.8.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That was probably exactly a year ago. So, because I remember it was going high right before we had this whole virus thing. Exactly. So how did that play out? I mean, you get to another country, you're there for what, 3 months before everything shuts down?
You know, I actually have a different opinion on the pandemic. Like for me, whatever situation God puts me in, it's like, you know, we're here. The pandemic's not going to go away anytime soon. So I'm just going to take advantage of my time here. And that's what I did. I just used the time to constantly learn, practice my Spanish, because the way I saw it, that time didn't count against my tourist visa. So it was essentially free time in this country. I was still earning dollars, kind of. That's like a separate thing. I was still earning dollars. So I'm like, man, I might as well just live here. Like, why am I going to go back when life is better here? So.
Okay. So, and you are going to stay in Colombia, or just moving to Manizales?
Yes.
And Manizales, I think you told me, is about 4.5 hours away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you find that city?
So I've heard a lot of good things about it. And one of my buddies here, his name is Daniel. He's born in this place called Fresno, which is close to Manizales, but he had a place in Manizales. So he said he invited me to go stay with him and to go check out the city a couple months ago. So I was like, yeah, sure, I want to go see him. And then I got introduced to like his sister, her boyfriend. So I went to Manizales, and I just fell in love with the city, bro. Like it's paisa, but it's 1/10 of the population. That it's quiet. The people are very cultured. You know, here in Medellin, trying to cross the street, the cars don't stop for you, you know, but in Manizales, people will let you pass. There's no traffic. It's so close to nature. It's so beautiful. And the views are just, man, I love that city. So like after.
What's the weather like?
It's cold. It's about 10 degrees Fahrenheit colder than here in Medellin. But when it gets sunny and hot, it's only gets like 75 degrees, 76 maybe, but it's colder generally. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you going to leave Medellin? And it's perfect outside of the pollution. It's perfect. It doesn't really get better than Medellin.
Well, I come from LA, so I'm used to this weather. It's not very different from LA weather, you know. But like you said, the pollution, I don't mind it being colder. I like being able to wear jackets and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about that city, man. The air is pure. The water is the third best water in the world, you know, because it comes straight from the mountain, and you can you feel a difference. And when you shower, your skin feels nice and soft. And I don't know, man. I love that city, bro. It's so good.
Outstanding. Well, hey, props to you for making a change and just up and leaving and going to another country. For those, again, who say that they can't do it, because most people will run things by their friends and family. They'll say, you know what, I'm moving to Colombia. What? You're crazy. You're stupid. And like crabs in a barrel, they'll hold them back.
Yeah.
So, but you pulled away from that, and people need to know, do your own thing, live your own life. If it's something that you want to do, I mean, check everything out and just create it.
Well, the way I see it is like, if you have something deep down telling you to do something and you don't do it, my biggest fear has always been to grow old thinking that I regretted my life, you know. And the more time that passes, you're only getting older. So, you know, it's either you're going to do it now, or, you know, you're going to wake up one day, you're going to be 60 and you wish you did it. You're going to try to do it. You're not going to have the energy anymore. You know? And I like,
trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I'm getting there now, but we're still moving around. I'm ready to get out of here like ASAP.
Yeah, you look good for your age, Rob. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You said you were 58, and I'm like, dude, you look like you're 40. So whatever you're doing, man, like keep that shit up for real.
Hey, well, I'm just blessed to be alive and still have the energy to travel around. I mean, my goal, like I said, I don't know whether or not we're gonna go to Medellin first, or we're gonna go to Guatemala first. But there's some plans that she's still waiting on her passport to get renewed. But so hopefully within the next month or something, we can go somewhere. We've been all around the globe so far, so might as well keep it going, man. I can't wait to get back out.
Dude, that's amazing, man. I'm glad. I appreciate what you're doing on your channel, bro. Like I love that how you and I would kind of see the same ethically, you know.
Mhm.
And I really respect what you're doing. Plus, you're the only guy with a green screen, so I think that's freaking dope.
Hey, I saw your video and I was like, I forgot how somebody shared a link or something, and I saw it. And I watched a video or two, and I was like, you said something that triggered. It's like, okay, we think a lot alike. I need to
Yeah.
get this guy on. Let me reach out. And your email said something like, use this for spam or something. I'm like, what is he just blowing people off? But then you
Right.
answered, I'm like, yeah, I got to get you on.
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, no, I wanted to say one more thing about you're saying like discussing with your family and friends. I think
Mhm.
that's a tricky one because obviously you would expect that your family wants the best for you, but at the same time, like you said, crabs in a barrel, man. You know, it's like if you talk to other people about it, they're gonna put a bunch of worry in your head, especially with the reputation that Colombia has. Even though it's getting better, people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, is it safe? Isn't it just a bunch of drugs and prostitutes and stuff? Isn't that where Pablo Escobar is from?" Nah, like you just kind of the way I see it, don't listen to the news, don't pay attention to that. If you feel like you want to go experience something, you have to do it for yourself. You got
Mhm.
that's the only way to know, you know.
Exactly. And it could be Colombia, it could be anywhere else. Just get your passport, because I personally believe we're all slaves here until we have a passport. We cannot leave. We're in jail. We're prisoners. So we cannot leave without a valid passport. If I didn't have a passport, I couldn't go to Mexico. I couldn't go to Guatemala. I couldn't go to Colombia. And
Yeah.
so get your passport. You know, if it's anything else, I encourage you guys to do,
Yeah.
get your passport. I mean, because
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere without it.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll find that when you travel, I think in the US, we have a very bubble mindset because we're taught that US is the best, you know, why would you live anywhere else? But then you travel to other places and you're just like, what are they talking about? This place is, you know, like the world is so vast and it's so beautiful and it's so dope. And yeah, I wish more people got to experience that for sure.
Yeah, it takes sometimes going to that other country to see, wait a minute, they're not all fighting to come to the US. You know, that's just something that you're told here. Everybody wants to come to the United States, well, and get on the meal, the work meal, you know, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. You work, you buy something else, you work some more, you buy something else, you work, you buy something else, then you die.
Exactly.
You got to see the world. You got to see the country. Personally, I think, and you said you did a tour through Europe before you even made this trip, right?
I've been to 32 countries.
Wow.
This one, yeah, Colombia's 32. And then in 2019, I did like a 12 country Europe tour. And I was gone for about 2 months, like a whole backpacking thing. And yeah, bro, Europe,
Wow.
that opened my eyes a lot because the way they live there is way different than the States, you know?
Mhm.
And it was a beautiful experience. Europe is amazing for sure.
Yeah. We went a year ago. No, could have been a year ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Croatia, Spain,
Oh, nice.
England, Amsterdam.
Woo, Amsterdam is amazing.
Amsterdam was nice. Oh my God, that was absolutely beautiful, beautiful.
Right. And it's so clean. Everybody's biking everywhere.
Yep.
You know, it's a little expensive, but because, you know, Amsterdam has a reputation, but as a city, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful, well put together city.
Yeah, especially if you get outside of it too.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, guys, you need to travel. I mean, here you have a 26-year-old, and we tell people, you know, us older cats like myself, do it while you're younger. Do it while you can. You know, and especially with the IT industry, if you're able to work from home or work over the online or with a phone, do it. Take that American dollar. You can't earn the money there. I mean, well, you can, but not enough to live properly. So you need to take those US dollars there. So do it. And maybe sometimes you shouldn't ask your family or tell your family, this is what I'm thinking about doing, because they're going to just talk you out of it.
Yeah, I would actually recommend, like, for most people to not tell a lot of people. For me, I didn't tell people until the week I left. I made an announcement that I was bouncing. I didn't even tell my parents about it, you know, the week before, because like you said, you know, people are going to try to talk you out of it. And I heard this quote. It's like, we're all recruiters. So, you know, we all, whatever our lifestyle is, happy or sad, we try to recruit people into our thing. And it's just kind of like a human flaw, you know, crabs in a bucket. So you just kind of have to. Oh, yeah.
Was that your mom in the video when you were leaving? I guess you were at the airport.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So she saw you all.
Yes.
So you still communicate with them?
Yeah, I'm actually rebuilding my relationship with my dad, and I still communicate with my mom and my sister quite a bit. And I think the distance has really helped my familial relationship, yeah, I definitely still talk to my family and my friends too. I miss my friends from home.
Yeah. And they get to watch you.
Yes.
They get to watch you online and see what's, oh, son's on now. Let's go see what Wes is doing.
Yeah. It's crazy that you say that, because on my channel, I talk a lot. I don't just talk about Colombia. I talk about my life, all the goods, ups and downs. And it's really crazy seeing people that I haven't talked to in 6-7 years, since college, since high school. And I'll get random DMs and they're like, well, I don't know why I saw your YouTube video, but man, we're really impressed with what you're doing. Keep it up, bro. And that keeps me going. That's all love right there.
Yeah. It's nothing like the good feedback. You know, I tell people out of 100 comments, 99 are good.
Yep.
One of them is just, you're stupid and you, whatever they come up with. So you just block them and delete them and keep on moving. But yeah, you can't let these people get to you. I don't know. They call them trolls or whatever. And it's always a hidden email where they hide behind some email they just made last Thursday. Then you'll block that one. They'll create another email using that first one. Really? You putting all this effort into that?
Just to say F you to some, I know, right? Like I don't get that, bro, man. But hey, there's some negative, evil people out there, and that's just kind of how the world is. Yeah.
To each his own. So if you expect it, you know, it is what it is. You just deal with it. It's part for the course.
Yeah.
But hey, I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we jump off right quick about your experience?
No, I really appreciate what you're doing, Rob. I think out of all the people that are doing Colombian news, you're the best, and I'm very thankful for the experience. And yeah, check out my channel. You know, I talk about everything, not just Colombia, learning Spanish. I've talked about significant events in my life, all that stuff, and my relationship with God. That's a very big part of my channel now as well. So.
Excellent. Your videos are very quality. They are very quality. Your editing is awesome. You notice that when you have to do it for hours on your own, you go, oh, I like the way you did that. Okay, I forgot what you said, but you turned the picture upside down. I said, oh, there's an idea.
I take a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that's, I mean, just coming up with some of these ideas and being the first to do it too is a good deal.
I appreciate it. I get a lot of inspiration from like film, you know? So I would say the style of my videos is like, I try to capture that vlog YouTube essence, but I direct it and edit it in like a movie, like you're watching a movie. So my shots, you know, I like Quentin Tarantino a lot. I love Wes Anderson, you know, these popular Christopher Nolan, these popular directors. I use their ideas and I try to put it into YouTube videos, you know?
Excellent. Hey, got to have motivation somewhere. Doesn't hurt to, hey, if I see something somebody else did good, I go, oh, you know what? Let's see, now how can I step that up another notch too and still stay separate? So good deal. Hey, Wes, man, much appreciation, man. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to check out your videos. And guys, everybody who's watching this video needs to check out Where's Wes. Just go to YouTube and type in Where's Wes or Where's Wes Colombia. I don't know why our videos never crossed over, like why I didn't see your videos even when mine popped up.
Really?
But and now I'm looking at them, so they're popping up all the time. So, so I'll get caught up soon. Hey, much appreciated, man. Let's keep in touch.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right, man.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it. Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.